How is everybody doing? Still got this cough. So I had to take a couple of days to nurse it. Okay. Uh, we're gonna talk about Scorpio. Fixed water. And understand that Scorpio is quite a hell of an energy, let me tell you. Scorpio is very misunderstood. In order to understand Scorpio, the Scorpio energy, the Scorpio nature, you have to understand that Scorpio used to be ruled by Mars, right? The god of war, before Pluto was discovered in 1930, or 1929 to be exact. It was found in 5 degrees Cancer. Hence the stock market crash of 1929, where this country went bankrupt. This is a Cancer country, July 4th. And Pluto was discovered at 5 degrees Cancer in 1929, right when the stock market crashed. And it was actually 2 degrees away from the sun sign of the United States. And we got to learn from that. The Scorpio energy is the energy, let's face it, and let's be real. So before I begin to discuss the nature of Scorpio, the personality of Scorpio, we got to discuss the energies and what they mean, in the grand scheme of things. Aries is the beginning of creation. Taurus is the sustainability of that creation. Gemini is the inter-movement of energy, of people, of plants, of animals, of minerals. The earth is shifting. The earth is changing. Different continents are coming up. Different atmospheres are developing because of volcanic activity and because of other kinds of natural phenomenon. The earth is never constant. It's constantly changing. It moves around its axis, and it moves around the sun's ecliptic. So all of that is Gemini, which is mutable air, which is movement. And then you have Cancer. Cancer is the foundation. They call Cancer the foundation. It is the foundation of a family. When a man and a woman get together, they have a family. When 2 animals get together, they have cubs. When 2 plants pollinate, they have more trees, more flowers, more plants. You have minerals that are on the earth, and then you have minerals that are below the earth. And when the earth shifts and moves, it comes up. So it's like a birth, or the birth of new continents through volcanic activity, like in the Hawaiian Islands, the Ring of Fire. You got mountains coming up, and you got land masses developing. That's birth. All of that is birth. The sun coming up every morning and setting. All of that is Cancer. Then you have Leo. And Leo represents a pause in creation, if I can say that. A pause. And that pause is, look at all the beauty that has been created. Those beautiful roses here, the white, and I have some red roses over here you can't see. And I have a couple of other beautiful gladiolas and other kinds of plants. And you just sit back and just look at the beauty. Look at the beauty of creation. Look at the beauty that's in that flower. Or look at this little mustard seed. It's so small you can barely see it in your fucking hand. You can't put it in your hand, put it in the ears. You can look at the mustard seed. But yet they give up the tallest trees on the planet. Just sit back and look at the dogwood trees. Look at the rainforest, the Grand Canyon, the 7 wonders of the world. Just sit back and enjoy the beauty. Leo represents the beauty, the end result, which first started in Aries, creation, fire. Now we're right back to fire, number 5, which is the sun. The sun illuminates the beauty that's in our solar system, that's in our planet, and that's in each and every one of us. We are also beautiful people, beautiful animals, beautiful species. I mean, let's say that there are extraterrestrials around and they come. Well, you've seen the movies. Ew, alien? You think I want to see? I want to look like an alien, or I want to meet an alien look like that? Just a mere look of it might give me a heart attack. Ugly, So God knows what's out there in the universe and in our intergalactic family, right? Then you have Virgo, and Virgo, which also reflects that which is beautiful, also represents order. There is a science to nature. You heard of Avogadro's number. You heard of 3.14, which is pi. You heard of the Fibonacci numbers, right? You heard of gematria and sacred geometry. All of that falls under Virgo. The mathematician, the scholar. We now are learning about our planet, learning about our earth, learning about the stars, learning how to read, how to write, how to eat. Just because everything is beautiful and things that it just sprung out of nowhere, out of magic, let's say, doesn't mean that there's no order. There's no scientific order. Everything in nature has an order. The human body. If you take anatomy and physiology in your class, you're going to understand that every organ of the body has its function. And of course, you cannot pass high school biology unless you learn these functions, right? And they're hard. Biology was hard. Chemistry was hard. These are tough, but we need to know it because it discusses the matrix of life that defines us. God forbid I have a problem with my eye. If I don't know anything about how to take care of my eye, then I'll go blind. Thank God we got ophthalmologists, so we have the scientific establishment for us to be able to learn about these things. So Virgo represents another pause, but not a creative pause like in Leo, where you just pause and look at the trees and look at the beauty of creation and therefore of God, because God is reflected in nature. Well, the same thing with Virgo on the material end, which is why it's an earth sign. We want to know why the star is shining so beautifully. Well, that's because there's hydrogen there. When that hydrogen burns out, we will no longer have a sun. Oh my God, but why are the stars moving so beautifully in harmony in our Milky Way galaxy? Well, there's a black hole in the middle of our galaxy. There's a black hole in the Andromeda galaxy, and that's the reason why they're moving, because it's a vortex. There's a black hole there. But we will never have known about it if we don't learn about it and study it. So Virgo represents that part of the pause, which makes you pause, sit back, and try to analyze and figure out the world around you, who we are, and our place in it. Then you have Libra. Here in Libra, which is a cardinal sign, cardinal air, now moves upward again from the long cosmic night of pause. Now we have movement again. But this kind of movement is that of interrelatedness of things. The interrelatedness of things. Libra represents that which is connected somehow, in some way, to everything else. If this is Aries, 5 individual arrows, and when you throw an arrow, you don't know where it's going. You don't know where you could aim somewhere, but the arrow can go anywhere else. The air, the physics of the air and convection, gravity, that arrow can go anywhere, right? The final destination of these arrows is Libra, that which connects. Everything has a point of destination. And when that point of destination is met by the inherent cause or action, you have what's called balance. You have a total balance. So the Earth represents, as well as our cosmos and solar system, a sort of cosmic balance. If this balance did not exist, we will have meteors coming into our planet and bombarding us, right? Thank God for the planet Jupiter, which is our largest planet in our solar system, which with its gravitational pull and its rotation, it ricochets any asteroids that's coming in our way. The moon gets hit a lot. The moon has lots of craters. All the planets do. Earth has one or two or three, maybe a couple of more, but because the Earth keeps rechanging and keeps reinventing itself per period since the last ice age, they are covered by new land masses and new topography. So we don't really ever really know. But we do know that we get lots of asteroids and lots of meteors, which our planets are in the way. That way it doesn't hit us and kill us and destroy creation. This also represents Libra, a balance. We have hurricanes here. We have cyclones here. But they don't happen every day. Otherwise, the earth would not be able to stand. Everything is a cosmic balance. Even world population, natural selection. The earth is not going to be overpopulated where we won't be able to then, we'll waste all our resources, all our food resources, all our water supply if we have too much humans on the planet. So this also is balanced by the cosmos. There are the right amount of animals, the right amount of humans, the right amount of trees, the right amount of oxygen that we breathe, the right amount, everything. Life is so delicate that any change in it can fuck us up and kill us. 1 degree difference in temperature. 1 degree difference in temperature changes in our planet. It can cause us to go into an ice age. Did you know that? Talk to your science teacher. Okay? If we breathe 21% oxygen, God forbid you were to breathe 20%. It's already going to cause problems with your lungs. 19%, you cannot live. You will actually go into a hypoxia or you can actually die. That's why when you go up into the mountains, into the high mountains like Mount Everest, let's say, people die before they get there because of the oxygen levels. 1 degree difference, 1% difference can mean life or death. So understand that this is represented by Libra, the sign of balance. Everything in our ecosystem has a delicate balance. Otherwise, it'll be fucked up. Now we get to talk about Scorpio. And I had to go into an explanation about this for you to understand Scorpio and understand the nature of Scorpio. Scorpio is that part of the human scheme of things and also the universe that destroys. There's a time to create and there's a time to destroy. Well, and we see this principle of destruction in the universe when you have supernovas and you have exploding stars or you have asteroids collisions on our space. Space is a very violent place. Over here, when you have look at Hurricane Harvey. Look at what Hurricane Harvey did. It caused billions of dollars of damages. It killed a lot of people. Look at that tsunami that occurred in the Indian Ocean that killed, I think, 1,600 people and destroyed that part of the world. Look what happened here in Texas, Houston, Texas. That's Scorpio, destruction. Hurricanes and earthquakes. Look at China. Come on, China gets earthquakes all the time. And the people die there in the hundreds of thousands. So there's a time to live and there's a time to die. Scorpio represents that time in which we die. When nature dies. When there is winter and the leaves and the trees, the spring and summer dies. And then winter takes over. That also is the principle of Scorpio. Scorpio represents death. Symbolically or literally through nature or to the cosmos. And it represents the dark aspect of creation. It represents that part of creation which ends life. Understand that this is, listen, it says it in the Bible. I am God, the destroyer. If you read Isaiah 46, chapter, or the entire chapter, where it goes, I am the Lord God, there is no one beside me. I form light and I form darkness. I create good and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's in Isaiah 46. So, and that also, and that's Jehovah. Jehovah in the Old Testament, which we know he was an angry dude because he was always fucking people up and destroying here and destroying there. He must have been a Scorpio. I mean, Jehovah is a lunar deity, but the higher octave of the moon is Pluto. So understand that even Jehovah represents an aspect of destruction and death. It's all over the Old Testament. So there is a place for destruction in the human evolution and also in our cosmos. Without destruction and death, there could not be no rebirth, no life again. So, having said that, we're going to jump right in and we're going to talk about Mr. Scorpio and understand that the Scorpio man, when you meet a Scorpio man, it's like a Scorpio woman. Both of them are really the same. So if you want to get extra information about Scorpio man, read the Scorpio woman, which is the anima of every Scorpio man. And the Scorpio man is here for one thing and one thing only. Please, girls, ladies, and a few gents, take note. Take note. I know, I'm telling you. Yeah, that's what, I've got to keep myself, going, my voice is my money. But anyway, let me take a little coffee here. Scorpio man, the Scorpio man, is here for one thing and one thing only. To take care of himself. Like Mr. Capricorn, the sign of self-preservation. Scorpio is also a sign of self-preservation. But he's ruthless about it. Unlike Mr. Capricorn, who is more smooth and suave and, yeah, he can be very dismissive, especially if you're nobody. Capricorns don't like to deal with nobody. You got to be somebody, something, or on your way to something with somebody, or they ain't going to be bothered with you. The same thing with the Scorpio man. But the Scorpio man will be far more ruthless and mean about it. And it's not that he means to be that way. It's that the Scorpio man doesn't trust. He doesn't trust nobody. He doesn't trust nobody. Not even his own mother. He trusts no one. And that sounds rough. And they'll never admit it. He will never say that openly. He's not trusting at all. When he talks to you, if he initiates a conversation with you, you better step back. Step back. Ask yourself, why is this man approaching me? Why is this man talking to me? What does he want? And if you do that, then you're on your way to being very, very guarded and maybe even safe from Scorpio. Now, I'm making it sound Scorpios like they're bad. But remember, they symbolize a part of nature, which is destruction. So yes, all Scorpios do have that in them. But if they ever have to step out of line or step out of step, to them it's not stepping out of anything. They're just being who they are. But from our vantage point, from the outside looking in, these are some rough, nasty, mean motherfuckers which the planet can do without. That's the first thing that you are going to say. I mean, all you got to do is think of some of the biggest serial killers and murderers in our 20th century. Many of them were Scorpios, and many of them had Scorpio signatures on their charts. And you have to ask yourself, why did God create a personality being of this type of destruction and this type of intensity? Well, who is it going to be if it isn't Scorpio? There has to be one sign of the zodiac that symbolizes this principle of creation, which is also destruction. We got Cancer, which symbolizes motherhood and maternity. We got Capricorn, which symbolizes power, money, wealth, ambition, industry. We have one sign that also deals with creating, which is Aries. And when you create, you destroy, which is why Mars also ruled Scorpio, because Scorpio's principle is also that of destruction, like it is Aries. But Aries is more, like a girl running with her hands, right? Like the baby. Scorpio is far more sophisticated, far more subtle, and very strategic, very calculating. This man is a schemer. This man, and that's what I mean. When you see him, you have to ask yourself, what does he want from me? And he will be exactly right in thinking that. A Scorpio is not going to fuck with you. Even if they're walking and there's a bump, oh, excuse me, you'll be the one saying, excuse me. He won't. He'll just probably look and keep going. Because people are commodities to Scorpio. People represent opportunities to gain and capitalize for their own means and their own selfish motives. The Scorpio man is not interested in being friends with you unless he's going to gain something from you or gain something from the experience of you, period. Otherwise, he can waste his time somewhere else. I know it sounds nasty. I don't even like talking about it. It sounds nasty. But I'm telling you, I'm an astrologer. This is my profession. I've been doing this since I'm 49. I'll be 50 in 2 more weeks on September 19th. Holla. But I'm going to tell you, I gotta take another sip of this coffee. They could be the sweetest people. The sweetest people. In the outside. In the inside, they're very serious. And they have 1,000 thoughts in their heads. And they have this intensity which is so unsettling. We would not be able to handle that kind of intensity from within. But Scorpio somehow makes it work. He takes these concentrated energies and he draws them in. It's like a pearl. A pearl is created inside of an oyster. An oyster, people forget, an oyster is a living thing. It has this little particle and it goes in there and it becomes irritated and it's trying to get rid of it. It puts more saliva to try to spit it out. And it doesn't. And it dies. It suffocates. But when you open it up, it's a pearl. It's a pearl. Beautiful and expensive. That is the nature of Scorpio. He's constantly irritated. Psychologically, emotionally. It's a boiling volcano of intense emotions and energy from shit that can go back many years or even many lifetimes that the Scorpio doesn't even understand. But yet at the same time, he does understand. But he's so perplexed and so intertwined in his own reality and a fatalistic reality, because it's always so morbid, that he doesn't feel that you're going to even begin to understand him. And in many ways, he's right. You cannot understand this man. And we're out of time.